Hi, everyone. This is a recording for the lesson 11 for academic ELA 7th grade that takes place the first part of the week, October 12th and 13th. I'm going to present to you a window as to how to get to your Amplify and the lesson at hand. Okay, so when you log in, you're going to see all units here. Go to 7B, character and conflict. On this page, we're going to go to subunit 2, A Raisin in the Sun. And we're going to log down on the next page, or go down on the next page, and go to lesson 11 for you to decide. All right, today we're going to look at some of the things that are happening in the Younger's household since we left off with the moving plans and whatnot, and after the visit of Miss Johnson. And we're going to look at some of the things that are going to be happening between Walter and Mama. We're going to come into where there's going to be a phone call from Walter's boss. And we're going to actually read a little excerpt from that at first. Okay, so again, we're going to tab 2, what has Walter been up to? And down here, we're going to read that scene 2 where the phone rings. Your directions are on the question, read along as the passage is read aloud, and then ask, what has Walter been up to while everyone else thought he was working? Okay, here we go. The phone rings. Ruth says, I'll get it. Mama says, Lord, ain't this a popular place tonight? Ruth's at the phone. Hello. Oh, just a minute. She goes to the door. Walter, it's Mrs. Arnold. She waits, goes back to the phone, tense. Hello. Yes, this is his wife speaking. He's lying down. Yes, well, he'll be in tomorrow. He's been very sick. Yeah, I know we should have called, but we were so sure he'd be able to come in today. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you very much. She hangs up. Walter is standing in the doorway of the bedroom behind her. That was Mrs. Arnold. Was it? Walter says. She said if you don't come in tomorrow that they're going to get a new man, Ruth said. Ain't that sad? Ain't that crying sad? Walter said. Ruth said said Mr. Arnold has had to take a cab for 3 days. Walter, you ain't been to work for 3 days? Where you been, Walter Lee Younger? You're going to lose your job. That's right, Walter said. He turns on the radio. Ruth says, oh, Walter, and with your mother working like a dog every day? A steamy, deep blues song pours out of the radio. That's sad, too, Walter said. Everything is sad. Mama says, what have you been doing for these 3 days, son? Mama, you don't know all the things a man what got leisure can find to do in this city. What's this? Friday night? Well, Wednesday, I borrowed Willie Harris's car and went for a drive. Just me and myself, and I drove and drove way out. Way past South Chicago, I parked the car, and I sat and looked at the steel mills all day long. I just sat in the car and looked at them, big black chimneys, for hours. Then I drove back, and I went to the Green Hat. The Green Hat is a bar. And Thursday, I borrowed the car again, and I got in it, and I pointed it the other way, and I drove the other way for hours, way, way up to Wisconsin. And I looked at the farms. I just drove and looked at the farms. And I drove back, and I went to the Green Hat. And today, I didn't get the car. So today, I just walked all over the South Side. And I looked at the Negroes, and they looked at me, and finally, I just sat down on the curb at 39th and South Parkway, and I just sat there and watched the Negroes go by. And then I went to the Green Hat. You all sad? You all depressed? And you know where I'm going right now. Bruce goes out quickly. Oh, Big Walter, is this the harvest of our days? Mama says. Walter says, you know what I like about the Green Hat? I like this little cat they got there who plays a saxophone. He blows. He talks to me. He ain't about 5 feet tall, and he's got a conked head, and his eyes is always closed, and he's all music. Mama rises and gets some papers out of her handbag. Walter says, and there's this other guy who plays the piano. And they got a sound. I mean, they can work on some music. They got the best little combo in the world in the green hat. You can just sit there and drink. Listen to them three men play, and you realize that nothing matters worse than them, but just being there. Mama says, I've helped to do it to you, haven't I, son? Walter, I've been wrong. Nah, you ain't never been wrong about nothing, Mama. Listen to me now. I say I've been wrong, but I've been doing to you what the rest of the world's been doing to you. She turns the radio off. Walter. She stops and he looks up slowly at her and she meets his eyes. What you ain't never understood is that I ain't got nothing. I don't own nothing. Ain't really never wanted nothing. Wasn't for you. There ain't nothing as precious to me. There ain't nothing worth holding on to. Money, dreams, nothing. If it means it's going to destroy my boy. She takes an envelope out of her handbag and puts it in front of him, and he watches her without speaking or moving. I paid the man $3,500 down on the house. That leaves $6,500. Monday morning, I want you to take this money and take $3,000 and put it in a savings account for Benitza's medical schooling. The rest, you put in a checking account with your name on it. And from now on, any penny that comes out or goes in is for you to look after, for you to decide. She drops her hands a little helplessly. It ain't much, but it's all I got in the world, and I'm putting it in your hands. I'm telling you to be the head of this family from now on like you're supposed to be. Walter stares. You trust me like that, Mama? I ain't never stopped trusting you. Like I ain't never stopped loving you, Mama says. She goes out. Walter sits looking at the money on the table. Finally, in a decisive gesture, he gets up and in mingled joy and desperation picks up the money at the same moment Travis enters for bed. What's the matter, Daddy? You drunk? Travis says. Walter sweetly, more sweetly than we've ever known him to be. No, Daddy ain't drunk. Daddy ain't gonna never be drunk again. Travis says, well, good night, Daddy. The father has come from behind the couch and leans over, embracing his son. Son, I feel like talking to you tonight. About what? Travis says. Oh, about a lot of things. About you and what kind of man you're going to be when you grow up. Son, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to be a bus driver, Travis says. Walter laughs. Oh, what? Man, that ain't nothing to want to be. Why not? Travis says. 'Cause, man, it ain't big enough. You know what I mean. I don't know then, Travis said. I can't make up my mind. Sometimes Mama asks me that too. And sometimes when I tell her I just want to be like you, she says she don't want me to be. And sometimes she says she does. Walter gathers him up in his arms. You know what, Travis? In 7 years, you're going to be 17 years old, and things is going to be very different with us in 7 years, Travis. One day when you're 17, I'll come home from my office downtown somewhere. I work in no office, Daddy. No, but after tonight, after what your daddy's going to do tonight, there's going to be offices, and a whole lot of offices. What you going to do tonight, Daddy? Travis said. You wouldn't understand yet, son, but your daddy's going to make a transaction, a business transaction. That's going to change our lives. That's how come one day when you're about 17 years old, I'll come home and I'll be pretty tired. You know what I mean, after a day of conferences and secretaries getting things wrong the way they do, because an executive's life is hell, man. The more he talks, the farther away he gets. And I'll pull the car up on the driveway, just a plain black Chrysler, I think, with white walls. No, black tires. More elegant, rich people don't have to be flashy, though. I'll have to get something a little sportier for Ruth. Maybe a Cadillac convertible to do her shopping in. And I'll come up the steps to the house, and the gardener will be clipping away at the hedges, and he'll say, good evening, Mr. Younger. And I'll say, hello, Jefferson. How are you this evening? And I'll go inside, and Ruth will come downstairs and meet me at the door. And we'll kiss each other, and she'll take my arm, and we'll go up to your room to see you sitting on the floor with the catalogs of all the great schools in America, all the great schools in the world. And I'll say, all right, son, it's your 16th birthday. What is it you've decided? Just tell me where you want to go to school and you'll go. Just tell me what it is you want to be, and you'll be it. Whatever you want to be. Yes, sir. He holds his arms open for Travis. You just name it, son. Travis leaps into them, and I hand you the world. Walter's voice has risen in pitch in hysterical promise, and on the last line, he lifts Travis high. Okay, so card 2, what has Walter been up to? Okay, 3 things. Sitting on the curb and watching people, applying for jobs, driving out to the country, going to the Green Hat, or working as a driver for another family. Then go to tab 3. What does Mama mean when she says to Walter, I've been doing to you what the rest of the world's been doing to you? So just so you know, here's a hint. The rest of the world doesn't listen to him. The rest of the world makes him feel unimportant. So she's trying to say that she's probably been doing the same thing. Why does Mama give Walter the money? Go back and into the reading and look for the place where she says, it's all about you. And I want you to be the man of the house now. I've always believed in you. Okay, couple sentences each. Tab 4 is a poll, whether you agree or disagree. Is Mama right? Should she give Walter the money? Yes or no? If yes, tell why on the first box. If you don't think she should give him the money, who should get the money? And explain why. So again, if you think that she should give him the money, tell why. If you don't think that she should give him the money, say who should get the money and why. Tab 5. We're going to go to who should get the money. So from the last tab, if you said Walter, you'll pick Walter. If you said any of the other ones, you would pick the ones that you'd already picked. Why should Mama give that character that you picked the money? And explain. Exit ticket tab 6. Apologize. This question has 2 parts. They are both multiple choice. Think about how Walter's words and actions have impacted Mama in this scene. What is the most likely reason Mama gives Walter the money? A, she wants him to pay for Beneatha's education. B, she wants him to feel like she and the world see him as capable. C, she wants him to understand how generous she is. D, she feels guilty and hopes the money will stop his drinking. Again, she's been doing what the rest of the world's been doing, and she wants to stop doing that. The rest of the world hasn't been listening, hasn't been making him feel like he's somebody and he's capable. Why is she giving him the money? Which quote best offers the best evidence for the part 1 answer? A, Monday morning, I want you to take this money and take $3,000 and put it in the savings account for Beneatha. B, I've helped do it to you, haven't I, son? C, and from now on, any penny that comes out of it or that goes into it for you to look after, for you to decide. D, what you ain't never understood is that I ain't got nothing, don't own nothing, ain't never really wanted nothing that I wasn't for you. Which quote offers the best evidence from the answer that you picked for part 1? We're out on the solo. Okay, we are now on scene 3, okay, which is moving day. Here we go. It's Saturday, moving day, 1 week later. Before the curtain rises, Ruth's voice, a striding, dramatic church alto, cuts through the silence. It is, in the darkness, a triumphant surge, a penetrating statement of expectation. She's singing, "Oh Lord, I don't feel no ways tired, children, oh glory, hallelujah." As the curtain rises, we see that Ruth is alone in the living room finishing up the family's packing. It's moving day. She's nailing crates and tying cartons. Benita enters carrying a guitar case and watches her exuberant sister-in-law. "Hey," Ruth said. Benita puts away the case. "Hi." Ruth points at the package. "Honey, look in that package there and see what I found on sale this morning at the South Center." Ruth gets up and moves to the package and draws out some curtains. "Look here, hand-turned hems." Benita says, "How do you know the window size out there?" Ruth says, who hadn't thought of that, "Oh, well, they bound to fit something in the whole house. Anyhow, they was too good a bargain to pass up." Ruth slaps her head, suddenly remembers something. "Oh, Benny, I meant to put a special note on that carton over there. That's your mama's good china, and she wants them to be very careful with it." "I'll do it," Benny said. Benita finds a piece of paper and starts to draw large letters. Ruth says, "You know what I'm going to do as soon as I get in that house?" "What?" Benita says. "Honey, I'm going to run me a tub of water to here," with her fingers practically up to her nose. "And I'm going to get in it, and I'm going to sit and sit and sit in that hot water, and the first person who knocks to tell me to hurry up and come out gets shot at sunrise," Benita says. Ruth laughs. "You said it, sister." Noticing how large Benita is absent-mindedly making the note. "Honey, they ain't going to read that from no airplane." Benita laughs. "I guess I always think things have more emphasis if they're big." Ruth looks at her. "You and your brother seem to have that philosophy of life. Lord, that man done changed so around here. You know what we did last night, me and Walter Lee?" "What?" Benita says. "We went to the movies." "We went to the movies? You know the last time me and Walter went to the movies together?" "No," Benita says. "Me neither. That's how long it's been." She smiles again. "But we went last night." The picture wasn't much good, but that didn't matter. "We went, we held hands." "Oh, Lord," Benita said. "We held hands, and you know what?" "What?" Benita says. "When we come out of the show, it was late and dark, and all the stores and things were closed up, and it was kind of chilly, and there wasn't many people on the streets, and we was still holding hands, me and Walter." "You're killing me," Benita said. Walter enters with a large package. His happiness is deep in him. He cannot keep still with his newfound exuberance. He's singing and wiggling and snapping in his fingers. He puts his package in a corner and puts a phonograph record, which he has brought in with him, on the record player. As the music, soulful and sensuous, comes up, he dances over to Ruth and tries to get her to dance with him. She gives in at last to his raunchiness and in a fit of giggles allows herself to be drawn into his mood. They dip and she melts in his arms in a classic body-melting slow drag. Benita regards them a long time as they dance, then drawing in her breath for a deeply exaggerated comment she does not particularly mean. "Talk about old-fashioned Negroes." Walter stops. "What kind of Negroes?" He says this in fun. He's not angry with her today, not with anyone. He starts to dance with his wife. "Old-fashioned," Benita says. Walter, as he dances with Ruth, says, "You know, when these new Negroes have their convention," pointing at his sister, "that is going to be a chairman of the committee on unending agitation." He goes on dancing. "Race, race, race. Girl, I do believe you are the first person in the history of the entire human race to successfully brainwash yourself." Benita breaks up, and he goes on dancing. He stops again, enjoying his tease. "Damn, even the NAACP takes a holiday sometimes." Benita and Ruth laugh. He dances with Ruth some more and starts to laugh and stops and pantomimes someone over an operating table. "I could just see that chick someday looking down at some poor cat on an operating table, and before she starts to slice him, she says, 'By the way, what are your views on civil rights down there?'" He laughs at her again and starts to dance happily. But the bell sounds. Benita says, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me." Benita goes to the door and opens it as Walter and Ruth go on with the clowning. Benita is somewhat surprised to see a quiet, middle-aged white man in a business suit holding his hat and briefcase in his hand and consulting a small piece of paper. The man says, how do you do, miss? I'm looking for a Mrs. He looks at the paper. Mrs. Lena Younger? Okay, there you go. All right, so now we are on card 3, which is number 1. At the beginning of the passage, what is Ruth excited about? Her job, moving, Benita's grades, her relationship with Walter, curtains, and the movie she just watched. Drag 3. Card 4, number 2. This question has 2 parts. Which room in the new house does Ruth plan to use first? The living room, the baby's room, the bathroom, or the kitchen? Remember, she was going to fill the tub up. Why is the use of the room so important to Ruth? Remember how everybody had to share the bathroom? Okay, answer that. Card 5, which most closely describes how Walter is acting in this passage? Depressed, self-pitying, relaxed, or concerned? Card 6, in this scene, Walter doesn't seem to think Beneatha ever stops talking about money, race, love, clothes, or medicine. Pick that in your drop-down menu and hand it in. Okay, that concludes what you need to do for this lesson. The things that are going to be graded for this are going to be the exit ticket and the solo. Please keep that in mind. The solo and the exit ticket will be combined and averaged together. This will be a formative assessment. I hope everyone has a great day, and I will see you in class. Bye.